Hey everyone, this is Dave, Dr. Shockbecker, and just got an idea for another video. Thought I'd put it together really fast. I have a large collection of movie books, obviously. I think most movie fans do. Most film fans have a pretty healthy collection of books on films and whatnot. And these three here are among the oldest or I've had them the longest, I should say. I have books that are considerably older than these, but I've had these the longest. I even know exactly when I got them. I bought these in all three of them at the same time in June of 1983 on the boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey. You went down to one end of the boardwalk, down where the Wildwood Crest is, the Ocean Towers, which was a string of like a hotel down there. And they had stores connected, and the very last store on the boardwalk, I mean, you would get off the boardwalk at that point, the last store was an Atlantic discount bookstore. And we were staying, I know you get right off there, there's the Adventurer Motel right next there, and across the street was, well, a motel that we were staying at. We had gone down with my aunt, my grandparents, and they had a room. Well, everyone had their own room, obviously. But it was the Siesta Motel. It's not there anymore. But I remember going up on the boardwalk. We were just down there for the weekend, and I guess it was on Saturday, and walking in, and I wanted to find movie books. We had just gotten our first VCR a couple weeks earlier. I had already recorded a few movies. I know Poltergeist was the first movie I recorded, and I'm pretty sure Superman 2 was one as well. But anyway, I wanted to buy movie books. I got all three of these at the same time, and I paid with a $10 bill, and I know that I got change back. So they really were discount, and I thumbed through these things constantly. I mean, for months after buying them. I read everything, read them cover to cover. I'll just show you real quick. We'll start with this one, Great Classics of the Silver Screen. They went in chronological order for release, and there's a write-up here and pictures, and I would just stare at the pictures and just dream of seeing these movies and recording them off of TV one day. All Quiet on the Western Front. Grand Hotel, which I love Grand Hotel, and this is where I first heard about that movie. This is where I first heard about a lot of these movies. Not all of them. Some of them in these books I've known of, prior to this. Obviously, King Kong was one I'd known about for a while. But some of them, these books introduced to me, and they have become my among my favorite movies in some respects. As Citizen Kane. This was the first I'd seen, and a year later, I think my father bought the videotape for Citizen Kane, and I got to see it. But this was my first exposure to Citizen Kane, were these pictures in this book and the article. And, there's foreign films in here. There's Enfant du Paradis. And I was mesmerized by these movies and just wanting to see them and experience them. And, look, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Ben-Hur, which I absolutely love. Last Year at Marion Bad. It was a goal of mine to see all of these movies, and if possible to own all of these movies. I don't own them all. I do own a lot of them that are in these books. There's The Sound of Music. Elvira Madigan. I've not seen that one yet. 2001: A Space Odyssey. This was my first exposure to 2001: A Space Odyssey, was this book. And a few years later, I would rent the video for that, and I love it. Easy Rider. This is the first time I'd seen anything about Easy Rider. And these two pictures really kind of stayed with me when I saw them in this book, and I'm like, wow, and it does sort of go through everything with the movie here. Close Encounter. Now, Close Encounters I had seen. That was, I think, the one movie in this book that I had seen. I saw it in the theater. Yeah, it's the last one in here. I had seen it in the theater. So that was that one I'd actually seen before. That's great classics. The next one is Good Guys and Bad Guys. Kind of this the same as the previous book. Same sort of format. Again, chronological. You know, The Thin Man, Stagecoach. Again, these were my initial exposures to some of the great movies. Casablanca, my father would buy the video a couple years later, and I'd get a chance to see Casablanca. But again, this book is what introduced me to all of these great movies. The Third Man, one of my favorite films to this day. Kind Hearts and Coronets. I've still not seen The Gunfighter. High Noon, of course, is a classic. On the Waterfront. Yeah, these books. And look, The Seventh Samurai. Where's the one picture? There was one picture in this that always kind of... Was it The Seventh Samurai? Oh, I think it was this one. I think it was... Was it? Yeah. Yes, it was that picture. There was just something about that picture, that sort of that long shot of the seven riding, and I would stare at that picture. I don't know what it was. I was a kid. What can I say? I was 83. I was 13, you know, and I was just getting ready to start high school. I was about to be a freshman in high school. Kiss Me Deadly, Bridge on the River Kwai, North by Northwest. Again, this was my exposure to North by Northwest. Rio Bravo. Psycho. Now, Psycho, I think I had seen on TV prior to this. I think I did, because I was familiar with that movie as well. And there's a few others. Now, The Manchurian Candidate. It was this write-up, these 2 pages, I fell in love with The Manchurian Candidate. And it wasn't available for a lot of years. It would be 20 years before I'd finally see it. And it still ranks as one of my, you know, in my top 25 favorite films. But I fell in love with the movie through this article and these pictures. And I had to see it. You know, it's like one of those ones that I absolutely had to see. Bonnie and Clyde, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Wild Bunch. Again, you know, Peckinpah is my favorite director and one of my favorite movies. Dirty Harry, Shaft. The Godfather, my all-time favorite film. I read about it in here before I finally got a chance to see it. It would again be another year or so, I want to say, before I'd finally get a chance to see The Godfather. Mean Streets, I didn't get to see that for 2 years, and I was lucky that the video store that I had joined had a video of it. Blazing Saddles. It would be the next year. I think I got this for Christmas of '84, I want to say. The video for this that I finally get to see Blazing Saddles, and I haven't seen Illustrious Corpses. I still haven't seen that. The last one is actually my favorite. It's all movie posters, and these things were amazing. I love them all. Murders in the Rue Morgue. Mystery of the Wax Museum. You haven't seen Paradise Canyon. I bet I have that in one of those Mill Creek box sets. I have a John Wayne 20 film. I bet that's in there. Yeah, these posters were just, I don't know, I loved them. Casablanca, Gaslight, which I have since seen. A lot of these I haven't, though. I have not seen, you know, especially these earlier films. When we get later on, I've seen American in Paris. This poster, something about the way Vincent Price's face looked in House of Wax. I think there's another Vincent Price one in here, too. And they both just really kind of creep me out. You know, not just the eyes, but the skin melting on there. You know, for a 13-year-old, that was pretty intense. Oh, here it is. This was the other one. House on Haunted Hill. And it's that woman hanging there, the skeleton holding the Vincent Price carrying the head. Yeah, those 2 posters were It just kind of blew me away. Mon Oncle, which that's an awesome movie. That really is. I really want to see more of Jacques Tati's work after Mon Oncle. That was such a good movie. So funny. Battle of the Sun, X, the Man with X-Ray Eyes, another one, The Wild Bunch. This one always, look at that. I thought that was so incredible, that poster. Don't Look Back. I haven't seen either of these. I haven't seen Waterloo. I haven't seen these. The Valley. I want to see it because it says music by Pink Floyd, Barbet Schroeder. I haven't seen The Valley, but I'd like to. And of course, this is a classic here, High Plains Drifter. Wonderful phone call. Paper Moon, American Graffiti. It's Alive, that's entertainment. Badlands, always love that poster for Badlands. Chinatown, Murder on the Orient Express. Day of the Locust, The Great Waldo Pepper. The Ritz, silent movie. 1900. I still haven't seen that, but man, do I want to. Buffalo Bill. Look at that poster for The Gauntlet. Tell me that doesn't look incredible. And the one with the man who fell to Earth also. Look at that. Both of them. Amazing. Star Wars, obviously, I was familiar with. The little girl who lives down the lane. Eagle's Wing. Look at this. I so wanted this poster on my wall. I thought, man, that is beautiful. I've seen Eagle's Wing. It's a good movie. I think the poster is a little better. But it's a good movie. But I love that poster. Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings. My Brilliant Career. Flash Gordon. I was familiar with that movie as well. And I was familiar with Escape from Alcatraz. And Kagamusha, the Akira Kurosawa film. So anyway, that's these three books. They were a big part of my becoming a movie fan and learning about even world cinema and the classics. A lot of classics. These three books are what exposed me to those classics. And like I said, I got them, all three of them, for less than $10. Again, but that was back in 1983. I wonder if there's more in this series. If anybody knows if there are more books in this series. It's the world of movies. I would like to try and pick them up if I could. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'll keep the videos coming. Thank you.